If you think that having an Instagram strategy is enough to grow a six-figure business, then you need to think again. Most business owners are stuck because they're using one funnel and they're expecting it to do absolutely everything. Today, I'm going to break down the difference between a marketing funnel, a sales funnel, and a service funnel and show you exactly how I got to my first 100K with these three combined funnels that will absolutely help you get there too. This will set you apart in your industry, help you stand out, and make sure that your clients not only come to you, buy from you, but also love the service that you deliver and stay with you and refer you to other people. I'm Harmony. I am a business mentor for wellness and service-based businesses, and today I'm sharing the exact method that got me to my first 100K. If you want your business to grow without burning out, which I am so passionate about, I need you to understand that these funnels have to work together. Now, there is a lot of talk about what a funnel actually is. Lots of people use this in different contexts. Today, I'm going to talk you through the exact context that I'm using that term in so that you can see for yourself how to build this out in your business so that you can attract, engage, connect, convert, and retain your clients for good so that they absolutely love working with you and that you can hit your first 100K as well. By the end of this video, you will have the exact steps to set this up for yourself in your own business and have a powerful funnel set. Now, I say set because it's like a box set. You're going to get all the best bits of the funnel systems, and then you're going to build them out together so that you actually create a holistic experience for your clients from the very first moment that they meet you all the way through to the end of their journey with you. So let's dive in. Most people lump everything under the term funnel and they expect one particular funnel, mostly a marketing funnel or maybe even it's a sales funnel, to do all the heavy lifting for them and attract the clients and deliver the full experience just through one particular system. And the problem with that is for example, if I saw an advert for travel, maybe it was for a holiday or something, and I saw the initial ad, but then no one ever offered me a way to buy it, I would never get anywhere else in that service model. If I saw the initial ad and then I opted in to buy, but then I didn't have a good experience on the back end, then I also wouldn't buy again. I wouldn't refer to my friends or my family, and they would lose me as a customer for life. Not only do you need the marketing at the front, the sales in the middle, but you need the deliverables on the back end. This is why it's a three-part set method. Right now, you're possibly getting leads, but maybe not converting them, which is meaning that maybe you've got the marketing part down packed, but your sales process isn't any good. Or maybe that you're getting clients who disappear after one session, they ghost you, they don't want to continue because the deliverable isn't right and there's something missing in the customer journeys and you haven't properly mapped out the client experience from start to finish. Or maybe you're not getting clients at all, in which case the marketing is broken right at the front. So I'm going to break down all three steps for you today, but I really want you to think about that analogy that you can't do one of these steps and just hope that it's going to convert and that you're going to hit 10K months or 100K year. It's just not going to happen. In fact, you're probably not even going to see your first $1,000 if you don't have all of these three in a set down packed and you know exactly how to get your customer through the full process. What I see all the time as a business mentor is I see people avoid this. Now, I know a funnel sounds a little bit ick already. You've probably got a perception around what a funnel actually is. But I promise you that if you look at this from a lens of a service model and how you can add value to the lives of your clients and actually get them real results, which is ultimately why they're coming to you, then this step cannot be missed. This is a huge planning phase of building out a business. And honestly, when clients come to me and they've never even looked at the deliverables of how they actually offer a beautiful experience to their clients or how they're actually getting clients in the first place or how they're actually converting them at a sales level, it's no wonder that they're not getting sales or that they've got a bad reputation or the clients are left with a bad taste in their mouth because they didn't do the work on the front. Now, it's really not that hard. It might sound too techie. It might sound like a 20-step process, but honestly, when you chunk it down into small little little pieces. It's really just knowing in your mind's eye that you've got the whole process covered, that you know exactly what your clients need, you know exactly how you can deliver that promise to them, and that they're going to leave happy every single time. So you need to do this groundwork at the front. I call this the build phase. You really need to make sure that you do this before you get your first clients. If you're already an existing business, then now is also a great time to go back and review this. You might surprise yourself. You might have most of this down pat, but you might be missing one key step that is allowing you to retain more clients or attract new ones. Let's look at the first part of this process, and I'm going to call this one, for clarity of terms, a marketing funnel. Now, what we're going to do is go through this process, and as you'll see, there is essentially this big triangle. Top end of the triangle, you're going to have your cold audience who maybe are just becoming aware that you even exist or becoming aware that they even have a problem. Then you've got in the middle of the triangle, you've got your warm audience. These people have discovered you by now. They realize that actually they have a problem and you can probably help them. And maybe they're starting to engage with you and connect with you. They potentially have even downloaded one of your free offers or lead magnets or had an inquiry call with you. And so we would call them a warm lead in this middle of funnel section. So essentially a middle of funnel or a warm lead is someone who has had some form of energetic exchange with you and potentially giving you their name, their email address, or their phone number, something like that, or maybe has even sent you a DM and said, I'm interested, or how do I work with you? Those kinds of signs that they actually need your help. At the bottom of the funnel, and this is how they come in and they start to filter down, and the reason why it narrows is because along the journey, maybe you get like 1,000 people in at the top or 100 new followers in at the top of your funnel. And as they slowly get to know you a little bit more, some people will self-filter out, which is perfectly fine because we don't want to work with everyone. You only want to work with clients that really want to work with you, that have the problem that you solve, and that also can afford to work with you. They're going to weed themselves out and leave the bottom of the funnel with people that are red hot, and you know that they're the right type of person. You can definitely deliver on a result, and so they're your ideal person. So in a nutshell, that is essentially the marketing funnel. Obviously within that, there is lots of steps and lots of different things that you can do at every stage to convert people from a cold client to a warm client and to a hot lead. That comes down to the nurture side of things and then starts to feed into the top of the sales process. I just want to clarify that a marketing funnel main intention is to attract and nurture leads and to get them to start engaging with you and to help build trust with them. So making sure that this is absolutely watertight here and you know exactly where these people are coming in from, like how are you actually even attracting them at the top, and what you're doing throughout that journey to nurture them and get them to move towards a warm and hot audience. The second part that we want to look at is obviously how do we get them from being curious and interested and engaged and conversing with you maybe in DMs or through your emails, or maybe they're calling you depending on your business model. But we want to make sure that we've got a process in place that actually converts them to sales. So sales is your second funnel. It is a different funnel. Marketing and sales are different. And I need you to really catch that you need to have a process for marketing and you need to have a process for sales. So sales is how people buy from you, not how they find you, but how they actually purchase. How do you connect and engage with them? How do you qualify them to make sure that they're the right fit to work with you? How do you offer them or invite them to work with you? And then how do they purchase? And not only how do they purchase, but are there any add-ons? Are there any upsells? Are there any cross promotions of what they're actually buying that would add value to their client experience if they knew what was available to them? And most people leave money on the table at this spot as well of the sales funnel, where they actually don't think about the whole client experience. They get the initial client and maybe they solve the client's initial problem, but then they don't offer them anything in addition that could actually improve that service or elevate the experience or deliver an even better result for the client. And money is just being left on the table because you don't have a clear sales process. Secondly to that, This ties in with the last funnel, which is actually the customer service funnel. And if people don't understand their customer fully and their needs and desires and the results that they need to get, then you can't even add on or upsell or cross-sell anything to them at the sales phase because you don't actually understand what they need. Now, you need to understand exactly what your client needs at every single stage, even if they're not aware of it yet. You need to preempt what that experience is for them so that you can make sure that you deliver them the best experience. I have personally seen so many times in my retail career as a senior leader, I have seen so many team members, managers, the best salespeople lose sales or leave money on the table where they could have added extra value onto that person's purchase just because they didn't offer and just because they didn't ask the right questions to determine the client's needs. For example, someone comes in for a pair of black pants and then they just leave with a pair of black pants. If there's no questions asked around, what are the black pants for? Maybe it was for a work interview. Did you need a shirt? Did you need this? Did you need that? If they don't ask the right questions, you cannot possibly deliver a whole experience. Likewise, I actually remember my mum going to purchase at a homeware store a new bed cover set. Now, she purchased so many different things for this bed cover set, and then she got home, put everything on, and then realized that the trim around the base of the bed, which we call the valance, actually didn't match because no one at the store said, oh, hey, by the way, what type of bed do you have? Then she had to go all the way back to the store, which wasn't close to home. It was a complete inconvenience to her to have to go and get this valance when she could have had it on the spot. And that salesperson also could have had an extra $100 sales for adding on a king size valance to the purchase, but just never bothered to ask the questions. So oftentimes we assume either someone's spending power or we don't go through the full experience of understanding the client's needs, and in which case then you can't offer anything in addition. In a service-based role, that might be a skincare clinic. Maybe someone comes in for a facial. Maybe they don't realize they have a problem because they're not the expert. And so if you ask them some questions about maybe a skin condition that they're presenting or some other form of symptom, then maybe you have another add on to that experience and show them that it would improve their skin even more if they just had that one extra thing. Sometimes it's multiple things. Sometimes it's like they came in for a facial massage and then you've realized they have a skin condition. It's, by the way, while you're here, I can still do the massage whilst you actually have this serum on. Let's do that to rehydrate the skin. And then next minute, you've added on an extra service. The clients had a better experience and they feel more valued because you made this a customized experience for them. It wasn't just a one single service and then they're out. You're giving them more than what they actually asked for. Some people are going to say no, and that is also perfectly fine. But most people don't really understand what they need on a deeper level. What they understand is the surface level things. They don't understand what is happening on the next level down. That's your job as the expert. So you need to preempt these things in your service model. The main difference between this and the sales experience is how you actually deliver your service. So this is, how do people experience your service or your products, and what results do they get? And how do you make sure that they absolutely get the best service, the best results, and leave happy every single time? Now, if you don't have a method where you can guarantee success every single time, you probably need to revisit your deliverable model and just making sure that you are offering something that you know is absolutely going to get a result. I know that within my business coaching program, that when people come in, if they do all of the modules, they show up to all of the calls and they implement all of the strategies that I give them, absolutely they cannot fail this. The only way they could fail is if they never took any single action, they never watched any of the trainings, and they never showed up. I know that I can pretty much guarantee that any single business that comes into my program, one, because back at the service model, I have qualified them and made sure that they're coming in, they're the right fit for the program. But two, once they're in there, I have this service schedule in place to make sure that they do get results. So it's really important that you understand what they need, when they need it, and how to deliver it in a way that is easy for them to get the result. So in your service funnel, what you need to consider here is your onboarding process, your delivery method, your ability to perhaps surprise and delight them through reward and thank yous. How nice is it when someone just says, thanks for shopping with me, or thanks for choosing my small business, or thanks for coming in today. It just is such a nice way that costs absolutely nothing, by the way. You don't even need to give free gifts or anything like that, but a thank you, a genuine thank you that is personalized goes a long way. Even just by calling them by their name, you will be very surprised how many businesses don't even pay attention to the client's name because they're just another number. How can you make this experience super personal for them, reward them for their loyalty, thank them for coming in, and really go above and beyond with that and make it personal? And then the last part is how to retain them is if you deliver exceptional service in those first steps, they're going to want to come back and they're going to want to refer all of their friends. A lot of people come to me, especially business coaching clients, and they say, how do I get more referrals? Honestly, the only way to get more referrals is to deliver better results. Because when you deliver better results, people will want to talk about it. People only complain if they don't get great results, and that's when you're going to see them disappear and never come back. If it wasn't exceptional, if it wasn't a 10 out of 10, and it was just average, they can go and find another 100 average businesses to work with that maybe they think might be better than yours. It needs to be exceptional. Customers in 2025, 2026, they have choice. And so you need to be the standout. You need to deliver exceptional results. If you don't deliver exceptional results, they're just not going to come back. Even if it's good, but it's not great, they're probably not going to come back. They're probably going to go and try something else or think that they can do it without you, or it's cheaper somewhere else. And then they're going to start comparing on price. You don't want people to compare you on price. You want to compare on service, because then price becomes pretty much irrelevant. So that is the last part of the service funnel, is making sure that you retain and get referrals. And it's simply just by following all of the processes before that. Hopefully this is helping you to get clear on which one of these steps or a couple of these steps that you're maybe missing in your business, so that you can absolutely plug up some of those holes and do a better job at your delivery. Wrapping up, marketing gets you seen, sales gets you paid, but a service funnel, that is what builds your brand reputation, and that's what gets you revenue. If this helped, I would love to hear from you in the comments which part is what you need to work on in your business. If you want my exact templates that I've used to build a 100K business from $0 up, then you can click the link in the description and grab your copy absolutely free. In exchange, I would love and be so grateful if you could hit subscribe to my channel and then come say hi on social media. You'll find me on Instagram at Harmony_Jade, and I'll chat to you soon.